Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news at 6. We will get you the day's top developing stories. Wednesday evening, lots happening. Let's get you the headlines first. Supreme Court restores criminal conspiracy charges against LK Advani and other BJP leaders in the Babri Masjid demolition case, upholds constitutional immunity for Rajasthan Governor Kalyan Singh. The Union Cabinet approves proposal to procure over 16 lakh VVPAT units, also agrees to removal of beacon lights from vehicles with some exemptions from the 1st of May. Former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam claims first victory, agrees to merger talks after AIDMK ministers distance themselves from Sasikala and her family members. And US President Donald Trump signs the executive order to reframe US H-1B visas. Indian applicants seek clarity now on implementation to ensure entry on merit. Our top story, the Union Cabinet today cleared an Election Commission proposal to procure paper trail machines or VVPATs for use during future elections. It also decided that beacon lights will be removed from all vehicles, including that of the Prime Minister, from the 1st of May. Here are more details.
Amidst growing demands from opposition parties for holding all future elections using paper trail machines along with EVMs, the Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, on Wednesday approved the proposal of procurement of over 16 lakh VVPAT units.
चुनाव आयोग का अपना आकलन है कि 16,15,000 मशीन्स और चाहिए और ये मशीन भारत इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स लिमिटेड और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स कॉरपोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया मैन्युफैक्चर करती है। दोनों पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग्स हैं और ये सारा प्रोक्योरमेंट अगर अप्रैल 2017 में ऑर्डर दिया जाए तो सितंबर 2018 तक जो उनसे नेगोशिएशन हुआ है ये पूरी सप्लाई आ सकती है।
In another move that's sure to bring more positive feedback, the Cabinet sought to end VVIP culture and approved the removal of beacon lights from all vehicles, barring emergency service vehicles from 1st of May.
और वीआईपी कल्चर हमारे लोकतंत्र के लिए अच्छा नहीं है। हमारा लोकतंत्र में लोकतंत्र के प्रति जनता का सम्मान बढ़े और माँ बाप सरकार जनता है और इसलिए ये जो लाल दिया की गाड़ी उसके अंदर में सायरन बजाना, ये बातों से लोगों के मन में भी क्रोध होता था और इसलिए आज हमने ये निर्णय किया है कैबिनेट में कि केवल इमरजेंसी सर्विसेज जैसे फायर ब्रिगेड है, एम्बुलेंस है, इसको छोड़कर इस देश में पूरी तरह से लाल दिया खत्म हो जाएगा। अब कोई दिया लगेगा नहीं और इसके बारे में नोटिफिकेशन 1 मई के पहले हम निकाल देंगे।
The Cabinet also approved encashment of accumulated leaves to families of defence personnel dead or invalidated. State government entities were also given permission for availing external assistance from bilateral agencies for vital infrastructure projects. Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
In other news, overturning a lower court's judgment, the Supreme Court revived criminal charges against LK Advani, Uma Bharti and Murli Manohar Joshi in the Babri Masjid demolition case filed by the CBI. Aiming for a speedy judgment, the apex court clubbed the two court cases as one to be tried in Lucknow court. It also gave a time of 2 years to the court to deliver a verdict in the issue.
In a setback to the BJP, the Supreme Court on Wednesday allowed the CBI petition to restore criminal charges against veteran BJP leaders LK Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi and Water Resources Minister Uma Bharti in the 1992 Babri Masjid demolition case. In a series of orders, a bench comprising Justice P.C. Ghosh and R.F. Nariman set a deadline of 2 years for the completion of the trial with day-to-day hearings. It ordered combining the Raebareli and Lucknow trials and transferred them to Lucknow. Further, the bench ruled that the trial judge of Lucknow will not be transferred till the judgment is delivered. Making it clear that there won't be any fresh trial in the case, the apex court directed the Lucknow trial court to begin proceedings in 4 weeks. It also asked the CBI to ensure the presence of prosecution witnesses on every date of the trial. The apex court, however, noted that former Chief Minister Kalyan Singh can only be tried in the case after he ceases to hold office of the Governor of Rajasthan.
Today, Supreme Court has directed FIR number 198, which was pending before the Raebareli court, should be transferred to the Lucknow court, and day-to-day trial proceedings should go on. An additional charge against the Advani, Mulli Manohar Joshi, etc. of 120B should be framed within 4 weeks, and trial should be concluded within 2 years.
The main question was that the trial were at two places and the trial was proceeding very slow. The relevance of this judgment is that both the trials will be clubbed together, and the court has fixed a deadline in which the trial could be concluded.
While the Congress welcomed the Supreme Court order, Uma Bharti said she was ready to face any punishment in her fight for the construction of Ram Temple.
We believe justice should be done, would be done. Now it is for the trial to take place and guilty to be punished. We sincerely hope that without any fear and favor, verdict of the Supreme Court would be implemented in toto.
कोई साजिश नहीं थी, सब कुछ खुल्लम खुल्ला था। मेरे मन वचन कर्म एक थे, कोई कंस्पिरेसी नहीं थी। मैं पूरे आत्मविश्वास के साथ, पूरे आत्मसम्मान के साथ मैंने राम मंदिर के आंदोलन में भागीदारी करी है। मुझे राम मंदिर के आंदोलन में भागीदारी के लिए हमेशा गर्व रहा है। मेरे लिए राम मंदिर का निर्माण, भव्य मंदिर का निर्माण हो, उसके लिए मुझे जो करना पड़ेगा वो मैं अवश्य करूंगी।
The CBI had charge-sheeted Advani and others under sections 153A, 153B and 505 of the Indian Penal Code. With Wednesday's order, the court revived charges against top BJP leaders 16 years after a Lucknow lower court dropped them on technical grounds. The CBI appealed to the Allahabad High Court, which in May 2010 upheld the lower court's order. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In a move to reaffirm its sovereignty over Arunachal Pradesh, China gave its own names to 6 places in the Indian state that it calls South Tibet. Calling the provocative move legitimate, China announced last week that it named the places in Chinese characters, Tibetan and Roman alphabets. China also claimed that it will do a second census of the names of localities, and an important part of it is to standardize names in their ethnic language. The announcement comes days after China lodged strong protests with India over the Dalai Lama's visit to Arunachal Pradesh, saying that it will take necessary measures to defend its territorial sovereignty and interests.
We know very well that this is part of India, Arunachal is a part of India, but we must now stand firm on it. And to stand firm by that we mean is that we must now be prepared militarily to face China. There are no two ways about it.
In a major development, AIADMK top leaders decided to distance themselves from Sasikala and her nephew TTV Dinakaran, paving the way for the merger of the two factions of the party. Former Chief Minister O. Selvam claimed it as a victory for what he called his Dharm Yudh against Sasikala.
Former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Selvam claimed first victory in what he claims a Dharm Yudh against Shashikala. He also welcomed the AIADMK ministers' decision to distance themselves from Shashikala and family. Selvam said he launched the Dharm Yudh with the help of his supporters to ensure that the AIADMK did not go into the hands of Shashikala's family. The decision paves way for the merger of the two factions of the AIADMK, with Selvam agreeing to talks.
Not removed, you cannot say that removed. We decided to ignore them in the party, in the administration. Hereafter, we will act independently without interference of that family. Hereafter, the party or government will function not on individual. We will form a committee. That committee will look after the day-to-day affair of the party and government.
They are out once for all. Once out is out. They cannot be in again and again anymore, because so many cases are behind them, pending for them.
The General Secretary of the AIADMK Amma faction, TTV Dinakaran, also struck a conciliatory note, saying he had no issues with the merger. He said the rebellion against him was due to some unfounded fears. He also made it clear that the MLA's meet called by him was not a show of strength.
They have some fear, that's all. I don't know the fear, because they were all my friends. You have seen them here till 14th. Suddenly they changed their mind within 2-3 days. Means something there is there with them.
Senior party leader M. Tambedurai said the decision is in line with the party sentiments.
It is a sudden development. It is going on for past 2 months.
even when Pannirselvam was Chief Minister. Then afterwards he resigned, and then he felt the feelings of the ADMK cadre and the public. Therefore, he said the family of T2 must not interfere in the party efforts and the government functioning. What he said.
The Shashikala faction, meanwhile, called the move to remove Shashikala and Dinakaran opportunist.
Other ministers say that Chief Minister also is included in their meeting. But that after Chief Minister opens his mouth, only we can say that. But whatever statement they have given, they are not the authority to remove General Secretary or Joint Secretary of the party.
On Tuesday night, a section of Shashikala loyalists led by Palaniswamy made the dramatic announcement to keep away General Secretary and Deputy General Secretary TTV Dinakaran from the party and the affairs of government, saying that the people and party workers were against him. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now to Delhi, where the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Wednesday released his party's manifesto for the 23rd April municipal corporation elections in the state. The manifesto highlights Aam Aadmi Party's promise of waiving off house tax for all residential plots. It also promises to hire more teachers in MCD schools and make Delhi dengue and chikungunya free in the next 3 years. Emphasizing on cleanliness, the party promised to completely make Delhi garbage free within a year. Other promises include simplifying rules to end corruption in civic bodies. The manifesto was released by Kejriwal along with senior party leaders such as Manish Sisodia, Ashutosh and Ashish Talwar. The Aam Aadmi Party is making its debut in these elections.
10 साल में भारतीय जनता पार्टी दिल्ली की सफाई करने में बिल्कुल नाकाम रही। देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्वच्छ भारत का नारा दिया। दिल्ली की भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने अपने प्रधानमंत्री जी की पीठ में छुरा घोंपा और उनका ही काम नहीं किया। अब हम करेंगे दिल्ली स्वच्छ।
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley today will depart for a 5-day visit to the United States and is going to participate in the spring meetings of the World Bank and International Monetary Fund. Economic Affairs Secretary Shaktikant Das, Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramanian and a team of RBI officials led by the Governor Urjit Patel are part of the delegation travelling with the Finance Minister. Upon arrival, the Finance Minister will be briefed by the Executive Director of World Bank and the Executive Director of IMF. He is also expected to hold a meeting with the editorial board of Washington Post, followed by an official dinner hosted by the Heritage Foundation. Arun Jaitley and Urjit Patel will participate in the G20 meeting on financial sector development and regulations and other issues on the 21st of April. During his stay in the US, Jaitley is expected to hold meetings with American CEOs and institutional and pension fund investors, where he will pitch India as a favorable investment destination. Also, Arun Jaitley today said that investigative agencies are doing their best to ensure the extradition of controversial businessman Vijay Mallya from the UK. Mallya was arrested in London yesterday and later released on bail. Jaitley said that the extradition is part of the judicial process in the UK. Mallya has been declared a proclaimed offender by Indian courts. The Scotland Yard arrested him on India's request for his extradition on fraud charges. Mallya was released on bail a few hours later on a bond worth £650,000. He is required to appear at Westminster Magistrates Court on the 17th of May.
You cannot cheat the people. You just swindle the public money and then you go abroad. You don't come back. That is not allowed. So the government of India is making every effort in that direction. And with regard to the particular individual you said about Vijay Mallya also, the government of India will take all necessary steps to get him back to India and then put him before the law.
अब भी ऐसा लगता है जिस प्रकार से गिरफ्तार हुए, जिस प्रकार से उनको 2 घंटे में बेल मिल गई, क्या ये लोग देखते नहीं हैं? ये बहुत साफ है कि सरकार दिखाना भी चाहती है कि कुछ न कुछ हो रहा है और वास्तव में विजय माल्या की मदद हो रही है।
वो अरेस्ट हुए, उसके बाद उनको बेल मिली, वो कानूनी प्रक्रिया है। भारत सरकार को हर वो कदम उठाना चाहिए जिसमें जल्द से जल्द विजय माल्या कानून के तहत जो उनको दंड मिलना है और जो उनके खिलाफ जो कार्रवाई होनी है वो भारत लौटे और हमारे कोर्ट्स में यहाँ उनकी पेशी हो.
A border security force Jawan who posted a clip on social media complaining of bad quality food being served to troops was today dismissed from service. The BSF sacked the constable on the basis of a report of a staff court of inquiry into the incident. The inquiry found that the constable was guilty of making false charges. Responding to the action taken against him, Yadav said that he will now appeal in a higher court. Yadav had alleged in his video post that bad quality food was being served to soldiers at the LOC.
तेज बहादुर यादव आज ही अभी 12 बजे मेरे को बीएसएफ से डिसमिस फ्रॉम सर्विस कर दिया गया है, लेकिन मैंने सभी प्रूफ किया कि ये खाने में वाकई में जो वीडियो दिखाया था वो मेरे पास अभी बॉक्स में डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं, घर जाके भी दिखाऊंगा, लेकिन न्याय नहीं मिला, इसके लिए मेरे को हाई कोर्ट में जाऊंगा मैं जिसके.
With a quick break here, we'll be back with more news in a bit. Stay with us.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Rajya ki Baoli, located in Mehroli, is considered the most ornamental of Baolis in the national capital. It was built by Daulat Khan during the reign of Sikandar Lodhi in 1516. Rajya refers to masons who used it. The entire structure is subterranean, so only the topmost story is visible as the visitor approaches. Walk towards its steps and each lower level slowly reveals itself. The top floor has a row of arched niches. There are 3 levels going down with 66 steps. The Baoli complex has a 12-pillar tomb and a mosque with plaster decoration on it. Carved brackets support the chhajja below the parapet. There are rooms behind this arcade meant for shade and shelter for visitors. The Baoli combines Islamic architecture with hints of Hindu engravings and geometric designs.
Welcome back. Now the heat wave continues to in fact sizzle across the country, scorching most parts with above 40 degrees Celsius temperatures. In the national capital, mercury soared to 43 degrees Celsius with no respite in sight. The most intense heat is being felt across northern India, stretching from West Bengal to Odisha to Rajasthan, the national capital region, and Punjab. Maharashtra is also reeling with temperatures settling way above 40-degree mark. These are likely to touch 46 degrees in some places in Vidarbha regions in the coming days. The Met Department says that there's no relief in sight, at least till the monsoon arrives. And with that, let's take you through some more updates from across the country and nationwide. At least 45 passengers were killed when a private bus plunged into river tonnes in Shimla. The accident took place on the Uttarakhand-Himachal border in Himachal territory. The bus was carrying 56 passengers from Uttarakhand. The government announced a compensation of 1 lakh rupees for the relatives of those dead and 50,000 for the severely injured and 25,000 for the injured. The Delhi High Court on Wednesday reserved its order on a plea for a direction to the government to approach the International Court of Justice for the release of Kulbhushan Jadhav. The court was hearing a PIL on the steps taken by the government to secure Jadhav's release. The Pakistani military court had on the 10th of April confirmed the death sentence awarded to Jadhav on allegations of being an Indian spy. The IT department on Wednesday launched surveys at about 80 locations in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala in connection with a tax evasion case. The raids were conducted against a city-based chit fund company and its associates. It wasn't clear if the latest action had any connection to some politicians or their associates in Tamil Nadu. A Delhi court will hear a fake degree case against former Delhi Law Minister Jitendra Singh Tomar. Tomar was summoned as an accused by the court on the 28th of March. Besides Tomar, the court also summoned 13 others as accused, including employees of the Tilka Manjhi University of Bihar, from where the Delhi MLA allegedly procured a fake law degree. Now, international news. And after Australia, the US is all set to reframe its visa rules for immigrants. India has insisted that the rules will be detrimental for its citizens, and it will raise the issue with the US authorities when Prime Minister Narendra Modi will meet Donald Trump, probably in June this year.
American President Donald Trump signed the executive order to reframe the US H-1B visa. The reforms will seek to ensure that random entry-level people from outside America did not get a chance to go there for work. US President Donald Trump said the reforms will ensure entry on merit of the visitors rather than on application.
Right now, H-1B visas are awarded in a totally random lottery, and that's wrong. Instead, they should be given to the most skilled and highest paid applicants, and they should never ever be used to replace Americans.
The United States had a provision of granting H-1B visa through lottery among the eligible applicants if the number of applicants surpassed 65,000 in the first 5 days of the year. Although this was also based on merit, many Indians are now confused and wish to engage the US president on his intentions. Till now, Indian applicants accounted for 70% H-1B visas.
We need to talk and we need to sort out the terms of engagement, because what America may in the short term believe is good for it may prove to be actually not in the interests of America, and the case of allowing experts from India to travel on HV1 visa and HV1B visas to America is a case in point. It's an American interest to allow for this. I think they need to talk.
However, an exemption from the H-1B cap is available for 20,000 applicants who have a US master's degree or higher. In case number is exceeded, there is again a provision of lottery. Trump wants to stop lottery provisions for all visa applicants. Since most Indians are in the US only on merit, new rule is hardly expected to affect them.
But still there is fear and confusion, and US embassies are also not quite sure how it will be implemented. Till that time, let's wait and see. Akhilesh Soman for Rajya Television with camera person Arvind in Delhi.
And now let's give you more updates from across the world in Global Buzz. US Vice President Mike Pence warned North Korea not to test the resolve of the US military, promising it would give an overwhelming and effective response to any use of conventional or nuclear weapons. Pence visited the US Yokosuka naval base in Tokyo Bay, where he announced that President Donald Trump's administration will continue to work diligently with allies like China, Japan, and other global powers to apply economic and diplomatic pressure on Pyongyang. The United Nations said that 16 staff members taken hostage by unarmed South Sudanese refugees at a UN camp in eastern Congo have been released unharmed. The world body said that the camp is quiet and under full control of the peacekeepers at the Munigi base in South Kivu province. South Sudanese refugees had earlier taken UN staff members hostage, demanding they be sent to another East African country to avoid their forced return to South Sudan. The Islamic State militant group claimed responsibility for an attack on an Egyptian police checkpoint near the famed St. Catherine's Monastery in Sinai on Tuesday. Authorities said the attack killed one policeman and wounded 3 others. The militants opened fire just outside the monastery, killing 1 policeman and wounding 4 others, and the attack comes shortly before a planned visit by Pope Francis to Egypt next week. At least 29 people died on Tuesday when their bus plunged into a deep ravine in the northern Philippines mountain town in one of the country's deadliest road accidents in years. More than 50 passengers were pulled out by emergency rescue teams but had serious injuries and were taken to hospitals. Preliminary investigation showed that the bus had lost its brakes. That's it on the news at 6. Thanks for joining us. Have a good evening.